Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Around the Block Talk. Today, we have with us Anju De Alwis. She is the managing director at Ultimate Access Key, and she's been into blockchain for a few years now and an industry expert in this particular field. So, very happy to have you here today with us, Anju, and I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Pratik. Thanks for having me. This has been a great pleasure and honor to have a chat with you, your team, and of course the viewers. And my name is, as Pratik mentioned, Anju De Alwis. I'm an Australian based in Dubai, sunny Dubai, and I've been in corporate for a long time, Pratik, but then moved into the education space. And now the managing director of Ultimate Access. It's an education company. We are accredited by both CIMA UK as well as CP Australia. We run professional courses as well as we run short courses for the finance professionals. But also we've got new courses that have come up, and one particularly related to blockchain in education space, as well as then another brand new course related to environmental social governance, ESG, with blockchain embedded. So really happy to have this discussion today, Pratik.
That's very great to know that you're now moving into, I believe, the emerging technology of blockchain. You're introducing those courses. So we would really like to understand what actually motivated you to include these courses, and what kind of upskilling is required in this space of blockchain today.
I think that's a really great question because, as you know, I'm from finance space. So, traditional finance, I'm an accountant. I'm a fellow member of both the organizations, CIMA as well as CP Australia. But then when I, embarked some interest in this technology, the new technology, and it has been, I realized that this technology, just not in the technology space, but also it was creating a brand new economy, which didn't happen with some of the other technologies that I got, introduced to. So I got really interested in this particular, the blockchain space and what it has to offer. The more I delved into it, that I realized it was fantastic ecosystem that we're working with. And that's where I said, no, this is something that the younger generations, this is not just for techies, right? But everybody needs to understand. It's, I think, quite similar to the, let's look at another economy, the traditional economy, the shares, right? So the trading emerged in 1600s, way back, right, in Amsterdam. And that's how the share trading started off. And the share trading, that market capitalization currently stands around $27 trillion. But that has taken a very long time to reach that status, right? And we can see whether it's India, stock exchange, or New York, or anywhere else, there's a lot of trading happening. But then when we look at the blockchain economy, I'm talking about crypto is just one part of the blockchain, but that's around 1.3 trillion. And it's not even a decade old. So it goes to show the capacity it's got. Then of course we go into the different other areas like the NFTs, and where the blockchain gets involved in the non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Then we get involved in traceability, etc. That's a whole new thing. I think this is a fantastic space.
Indeed. So, what kind of initiatives do you have at Ultimate Key Access, and what kind of training or courses are you offering today?
So we are offering, Pratik, something related to, so the one of the courses that we offer is related to non-fungible tokens, bringing it on into your business, into your how do you embed that into some of the studies you're doing, and understanding about NFTs, but more importantly, the governance around it, the related areas, just not tech, but other related areas around NFTs is something that we are really focusing on in this course, because I understand that there are plenty of courses related to you might say the technical sides, right? But we are not focusing on the other peripheral areas, which is important, and especially in if you want mass adaptation, that is important as well, the governance, the legal, etc. Another course that we are looking at coming up is environmental social governance, ESG course. It's a 12-week course we're launching this year, and that is focused around very much the ESG principles, but then we are again bringing on the blockchain and NFTs here. The blockchain, we are bringing it on in as part of the course because it offers that traceability, the transparency. Now, with ESG reporting, as I'm a finance person, I know the importance of it, and it's going to be the law in a few years' time where all listed companies have to report. But one of the most difficult things is that traceability. So in this course, what we are showcasing is, well, you've done certain ESG activities. How do you create that traceability as an individual, as a company? Because then there is authenticity in what you've done, and no one is copying you, or you're not, somebody is not accusing you saying, well, you've copied someone else's thing, or you just copied and pasted something, right? So in this case, in this particular course, we're not only teaching the students around the ESG principles, etc., but also bringing on that blockchain aspect to it.
Indeed, that's very true. So this entire industry or this entire ecosystem that is emerging, it's the technology enables it, but on top of that, there's governance, there's the economics of the economy that is coming up, and also the understanding of the technology needs to reach the end user, so the creators that are going to come up on this technology. So how do you think that can actually be enabled? And so that it is like the internet. So even if you're not in internet, you need to understand the technology today in order to operate. So there's a very mass education that is required for this technology. And how do you think that can be enabled in the world today?
Again, a very brilliant question. As you quite correctly said, internet was there in certain countries, and it really took to another level when there was mass adoption, isn't it? And for that mass adoption to take place, we needed to have certain infrastructures. You and I both remember the days, I guess, when we had that dial-up sound coming through when we connect to the internet, right? But now it's so fast, within the last 20 years, it has taken, to another different space. But I guess it's the same thing. But in this context, I think one of the key ingredients is that education. The education to the masses, to tell them the opportunities that are there. And to do that, I firmly believe that this education should not stick just to English. It should go in different languages as well. So that's one of the things that we're doing with our ESG course with technology. where we're teaching the students. That is one. The first steps would be in English. The first things will be in English, the first courses. But I'm planning, our whole team is planning from next year onwards that it will be in different languages. That is the thing that will really stick with the local local people in any country, whether we speak in Hindi, Urdu. It'll be more relevant to them because they will understand the concepts. They will understand, well, this is the opportunities that we have in this particular space. The technology is there now. This is what I should be doing to create an economy. And it shouldn't be about, earning money just in big companies, isn't it? Or I have to go to a big city to earn money. That shouldn't be the concept. It should be wherever you are, you need to, you can create that economy, you can survive, you can support others. And that's the kind of philosophy that we've got.
Indeed, that's very true. So one of the points that you mentioned that it has to be in the local languages, and that is only when the penetration would be deeper. So one of the aspects, of this entire revolution or this entire movement that we're seeing is that it is decentralizing and it is opening up avenues for people at the bottom of the pyramid, which did not have the access earlier. So now, in order to actually reach that the last layer, as we can say, of the pyramid, so that would be the rural population, people who barely have access to internet. How do you think that kind of penetration, because that's a very large number. So I can give you an example of India itself with a population of 1.2 or 1.3 billion today. So a very small portion can actually speak English. I would say 10%, 20%, around that. And not more than 30 to 40% of people have access to internet. But now that is expanding very rapidly. So these new people, when they come on the internet, when they so that what my point being, it's a very large number. What can we do to actually address that?
I think this is a great opportunity as well, right? When we looked at, I think, PayPal some time ago, just a year or so ago, they put out a report, very interesting report, and it showed that India's e-commerce space is very small compared to other countries. And I was really surprised, yeah. But then again, I thought, oh my goodness, look at the population and look at the opportunity, right? So that is massive. And I think this is a great opportunity for a lot of India startups or companies that need to or thinking of going into these areas, whether it's India, Africa, right? These are, I think, countries where there is a massive opportunity and also a very young population. And it is important that the population, the youngsters, get to understand that it is not that they need to rush to a developed world to make money or to work in this so-called iconic companies to make money, right? But that is also this, like my previous point, that education plays a significant role. And I think we have, when we decided about this initiative and going in native language, that was one of the main things. And you really confirm our thought as well, saying it needs to go in native language because that's where the adaptation will take place. Currently, if you say only a small population speaks English in India, well, that adaptation is not going to take place, isn't it? You can have all the infrastructure, everything, but it's not going to take place till majority take on to understanding the technology and using it. So I would say a lot of the programs that we, not just our company, any company rolls out, they should think about that native language. Who is your user, irrespective which country? What languages do they speak? What is their culture? And also have train the trainer kind of concept, have leaders in their own language taking this training and then delivering it to the others.
Indeed, that's very true. So, as of this moment, for your organization, what kind of target audience do you have, and what are the in terms of geography and in terms of other factors?
Yeah, we got mostly professional people, all speaking in English because they do the professional courses. And we've got senior managers from different parts of the world joining the course as well. So we've got students, because it's online, Pratik, we've got students from Canada, from Australia, from UK, again, from a lot of students from India and Africa, Middle East. So we've got a array of students coming from different parts of the world. And that is, I would say, one of the reasons that inspired us to think of this particular program and then think of delivering it in their own languages as well.
Right, indeed. So, also apart from the technology, the other courses that you mentioned. Uh, so, from my understanding, I can see there will be the need of economists to actually develop a token economy. We'll need legal experts to design the smart contracts. We'll need marketing and business professionals. I think the gap here is that people with all these skill sets, with the business skill set or with legal skill sets, they don't understand the technology that well as of today. And so, and most of these initiatives, it is being run by people in technology, and that is where it kind of struggles because it's not able to match with the business objective, or it's not able to kind of bridge that gap from technology to its application. What kind of skill gap do you see there, and how can that be bridged so that this technology really explodes and the adoption is faster?
I think there's a massive gap. There is a massive, I would say, a massive challenge and a opportunity as well, right? So, as Jack Ma says, where there are problems, there are opportunities. So, this is one of those things. You're absolutely right. Whether it's finance, my own profession, right? The professionals from that space, whether it's legal, they or marketers, we're used to just studying things in a siloed fashion, isn't it? Whether it's legal, whether it's, we don't look into this particular technology is actually touching that ecosystem. It's taken, it's unlike any other technology that we've experienced in the past. Yeah. Because it allows you to create your own economy in a very different way. It is certainly decentralized. It is not centralized as in the previous economy, right? Whether bank is holding centrally, or whether it's governments, whether it's companies. We've seen companies benefiting largely because they are centralized. And we know that many games that people play, kids play, the certain companies earn a lot of money because they are very centralized. Now you have the ability to go into, whether it's a sandbox, right, a metaverse, have your own plot, create events, create multiple things, and earn your the kind of digital currency that you want, which is an amazing thing. But for these things to progress, we need the governance around it. We need others more than the techies to come in and adapt to their life. Because if they don't, we are going to have a problem because that adaptation is not there. And the lack of knowledge is one of them that's holding people back. And of course, as governance comes in, as each country starts adapting, accepting, a lot of banks have started accepting, the blockchain related, the digital currencies, and that's a first step. And then bringing on certain taxation rules. Those are small but big steps in understanding, and a government saying yes, we believe in it, because as soon as that happens, the mass adoption takes place. So I would say to anyone, any professionals, that it is best that you start understanding, getting to know these kind of the new technology, what it has to offer, how it will impact your profession, and how it will bring on new opportunities as well.
Indeed, that's very true. So, also our own firm IDS, and we are into the space of education, particularly in blockchain. And so, our projects include Polyversity, and wherein we are kind of building a metaverse university. And so, as of today, we have laid out an infrastructure of blockchain within the institute of the country, and this is again very heavily supported by the government. So the government today in India, they are very keen to see what can be done with this technology and what kind of opportunities there are. So on the same line, in terms of regulation, in terms of the government supporting it, what kind of situation do we have in the world, and how are the government responding to this?
I think if you see the Dubai government, in the UAE as well, they're really supporting these initiatives related to blockchain and digital currencies. And you've seen that new rules have come up as well. So that is on one side. On another side, you would see a lot of events taking place in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi, lots of events related to blockchain as such. Even Binance have set up a company here in Dubai. So that goes to show that they're encouraging companies, people, individuals to come in, set up companies, and made it very easy. Now that is about the Middle East, and I could see similar things happening in whether it's Saudi Arabia, it's opening up, and similar things are taking place. If you then look at, let's talk about Nigeria, huge economy, and they have got a CBDC, that is a central bank digital currency. That is a first step towards understanding how can this digital currency work. But I guess very gradually they are understanding, banking is a very old profession, and it has a lot of laws, regulations. So they're taking their time to adapt. I think across the world, this the same thing is taking place, whether it's in Australia, we've got rules coming on. It is an evolving space. Our own profession, CP Australia, has provided a lot of input to the Treasury, and as such, the other authorities as to advise as to how to look at this economy. And as mentioned, it is just less than 10 years old, right? So it is a very young technology, and we will be seeing lots of new things taking place, something that you and I could have never imagined, right? Would take place. So I think in that sense, governments are seeing the opportunity. They're seeing that, yes, we need to support it. We need to get involved in it. We understand it's evolving. So they're being cautious. But I think, a lot of people will be, in the next few years, a lot of people will be joining this economy.
Indeed, that's very true. And one major aspect of the economy that this will enable would be like a creator economy, where, and particularly the use case of social media, where your data is today owned by these central systems and you have no control over that. And so eventually you will have your own data. You will have you will have a say on how you can monetize your data if you don't want to monetize your data. So one example would be uh, 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 a social media where you can actually earn with your advertising. So the advertising money goes to the user, and the user who's using the social, they also earn tokens, and so it's a different reward kind of a mechanism. And so how do you see that economy being different from the economy that we have today? How will that evolve?
This is another interesting one because suddenly all of us are learning to be entrepreneurs, right? In school, we never learned this entrepreneurship and finance literacy per se. Yeah. So I think this is, we are dealing with certain universities, certain education bodies as well, where, they're in the art space, but they want us to come in to then look at bringing in two areas. One is finance literacy, the other one is the blockchain economy. So it's a very interesting thing. It's not, again, I would say the education bodies should think about collaborating and not thinking, hey, we need to know everything and we need to deliver everything, because that collaboration certainly works wonders, right? We have been discussing, Pratik, I guess, how we collaborate with your metaverse university, right? So similarly, we need to think about, how do we work with that ecosystem, because maybe the university specialize in that, being an economist or being that creative, you're going to be doing digital art or you're going to be a cinematographer, but being just having that creative side is not enough, because now you need to look at this and say, hey, um, I could use this to create different multiple streams of revenue. Yeah. So I would say it's not, sometimes all of us don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, and that's where, again, I think the finance folk will have an amazing opportunity where they can provide that insight to artists and others alike, but they need to understand the technology and how it gives, what opportunity it gives.
Indeed. So, extending on this particular topic, so we're also seeing decentralized organizations being built with the use of this technology. And so, with that technology and with that kind of an economy, everyone can participate in an organization. The barriers that they are greatly reduced, and you don't have to go through multiple checks. You don't have to care what nationality you are. Everyone is able to collaborate in a better manner. And also the aspect of entrepreneurship where you don't have to work for a single employer anymore. You can be working for multiple organizations, or you can be kind of generating multiple revenue streams uh, for yourself. So how do you what is the possibility that we have today in terms of this entire very new economy emerging, and what specifically does that mean for the people who are today deprived of these opportunities, and how will these opportunities penetrate to the bottom of the pyramid?
I think this is going to see a huge change. Uh, I think technology changing is one thing, but we also got a huge wake up call with the pandemic, right? I remember a time where I used to work in one particular organization and they were in two different buildings. So between the buildings, I think it was about 6-7 kilometers, so it's not walkable. As in, because in to meetings and things, people used to come from one building to the other. They take a cab, just, I think about 10K. They used to just come in, and I used to say, hey, why won't you use, let's go digitally and, come on the meeting on a virtual sense. And a lot of managers, senior managers, didn't accept it, right? And that is not even, not even 5 years ago. But today, we are very happy to have discussions like what we are doing right now, and then learn in a virtual sense, and also conclude conclude contracts successfully. We are all happy to do that because of the pandemic. Before that, we were like, no, we just could not comprehend it. And we have to fly to another city or another country to meet somebody. I'm not saying that isn't important, but that the relevance has reduced significantly because of what happened. Now that opens up another new thing, which is, let's say you're in India, as long as, let's say you're in a remote city, as long as there is technology, the infrastructure is there, that person has the ability to connect with others who require his or her skills. Now, a lot of organizations are willing to participate in that kind of structure where we say, yeah, I'm fine to have my teammates in different parts of the world. Now, in fact, in our case, all our teammates are in different parts of the world, and they have been for the past 8 years, the time that we have been operating. All our lecturers are from different parts of the world. Most of them I have never seen physically, right? But are we working greatly as a team? Yes, absolutely. It's fantastic. So I think those certain people, certain organizations had barriers. If you are able to take off those barriers, the opportunity is immense to tap into very talented individuals.
Indeed, that's very true. So I think a lot of opportunities ahead in the space of blockchain, and more than technology, it's a social change that we're going to
Correct.
see.
Correct. Absolutely. And I think that authenticity or validity of certain work, certain certifications, we can, for example, the ESG course that's being done, we will have, let's say you're doing it, Pratik, we will issue a certification saying that you have successfully completed this course, but also the kind of projects that you undertook, right? That's all going to be certified via blockchain. Now, anyone looking at your profile know for sure that you have carried this out. You have done it. They don't need to come to our organization to validate it or do anything like that, right? Traditionally, even now, today, a lot of our certificates get, validated by so many other parties. They need to get those things done. But that's not necessary if you take it through the blockchain space.
Right, indeed, very true. So that is also one of the service that we aim to provide through our network. And
That's fantastic.
indeed. So, Anju, thank you very much for being with us and sharing your insight on this technology. And very good to learn from you and on the things that is happening on Dubai. And finally, I'll just let the audience take a question if someone would like to speak with the speaker.
Hi, Anju.
Hi, Madhu.
Hi. I really enjoyed the way you spoke about how you collaborate the creative and logical aspects of the process of blockchain. I think, yes, we need more of these insights. And I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much for your time, Anju.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anju. And with that, we can close the talk today.
Thanks, Pratik. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.